Okay, we are going to read The Frog Prince. This is by Pippa Goodhart and Yannick Roberts. And Oxford University Press is the publisher. All right, so you're going to see me zoom in a little bit and zoom out just so we can get a little bit closer to the pictures and Mrs. Camacho can see the words. All right, so here we go. Long ago and far away, there lived a princess. On her birthday, the queen said, "I promise to give you any toy you want." Let's take a look at this picture a little bit closer. Let's look at that. On your birthday, I promise to give you any toy you want. All right, now look over here. Look at this princess right here. Here's the queen, and here's the princess. Look at her face. Right now, just from what you've read and what you've seen, what would you think about her? What kind of character traits would you say that she has? And so remember, our character traits are things like the people are polite, or they might be kind, or they might be spoiled, or they might be jealous, or they might be unhappy, might be angry. There's different character traits that we can give to our characters. So looking at her picture right here, and I'm seeing that they're bringing all these great presents into her. The servants are. Must be her birthday. And just looking at her face there, she sure doesn't look really happy. If this were me, I know that I would be like super excited and my face wouldn't look like that. What about you? Okay, so let's zoom back out and go on to the next page. "I want a ball made of gold," said the princess. "But there are no balls made of gold," said the queen. "But a promise is a promise," said the princess. Zoom in a little bit. So, Mrs. Camacho is going to move her camera right now, or my where you see me, so I can read the words.
Did you pause it?
Oh, I'm just doing it. It's okay. Oh. That's Mrs. Richards.
Hi.
So, say hi, Mrs. Richards. So we're working on learning some new technology together. There she is. Hi. So, and we promise we're social distancing. We'll see, we have our masks. I just don't have it on, so I'm reading. We're still 6 feet apart. All right. So I'm going to move this just a little bit so I can see it. So the queen had a ball of gold made for the princess. One day, the princess was playing with her ball, but the ball fell into the pond. "I have lost my ball made of gold," said the princess. She began to cry. A small frog hopped over to the princess. "I can get your ball back," the frog said. "Frogs can't talk," said the princess. "Well, I can." "I will get your ball back," said Frog, "but only if you make me a promise." "I will promise anything you like," said the princess. "You can even have my crown." "A frog has no need for a crown," said Frog. "What do you want then?" said the princess. "I want you to promise to be my friend," said Frog. "Easy," said the princess. "I will do that." So Frog jumped into the pond. He got the ball back, just as he had promised. "Now we will be friends," he said. And down here it says splash. The princess grabbed the ball. She did not say thank you to Frog. "Hey," said Frog, "what about your promise?" But the princess just ran away. What do you think about that? Let's think about what kind of person that makes her. Again, that's going to go back to our character traits, okay? Thinking about what kind of a person she is. Later, as the princess ate her supper, she heard a sound. "What's that?" said the queen. "Nothing," said the princess. Look over here, right here. It says tip-tap. What do you think that we've got going on? Yeah, it looks like Mr. Frog has come for a visit. Open the door, said the queen. No, please don't. Tip tap. The queen opened the door. Oh, no, said the princess. Frog came into the room. Good evening, he said. What do you want, Frog? Said the queen. I want the princess to be my friend, just as she promised, said Frog. Ugh, I can't be friends with a cold, wet frog, said the princess. A promise is a promise, said the queen. So Frog sat at the table and ate supper from a plate made of gold. Look, slurp, burp. Look at the queen's face. What do you think she's thinking when he's doing that? And look at the princess's face. What do you think she's thinking right there? Now, will you go back to the pond? Said the princess. A real friend would let me stay, said Frog. A promise is a promise. So the princess took Frog up to her bedroom. You can sleep in this nice box, said the princess. A real friend would let me sleep on her pillow, said Frog. As he sat on the pillow, magic happened. Frog grew and grew. He changed into a boy. Who are you? Said the princess. I am a prince, said the boy. A witch turned me into a frog. The only thing that could return me back into a prince was somebody being a good friend to me. But I was a bad friend, said the princess. I didn't like you at first. You were a good friend, said the prince. You gave me food. You even let me sit on your pillow. The princess and the prince became real friends. They liked to play with the ball made of gold, but they never went near the pond. When they grew up, the prince and princess got married. They promised to love each other forever, and they did love each other forever and ever. After all, a promise is a promise. And so looking back here, you guys can see that we can retell the story. And so this is something that you can do by using the pictures. Sometimes it helps if we use the pictures to go back and retell the story. And remember how Mrs. Camacho always tells you that anytime that you need to look back into a book, because not all books have this retell pictures like this. It has this pattern. So remember what I always tell you guys, you can go back into the book and you can look back in the book and find the answers you need. So if one time I said, hey, give me a summary or tell me what happened in that story, and maybe you forget like a couple of parts that happened at the beginning, open your book back up, go back into it. That's a good strategy to use. So I want you to have a good rest of your day. I hope you enjoyed this. I thought this was a pretty cute book and I thought you might like it too. Have a good day.